All right, so all the rest of the parts came that we're going to need to put this LS back together. So these are LS7 style lifters. See how they're in the packing? They got oil in them. You know, they're assembled and machined, and I guess that's like the, you know, the assembly, whatever. And then it's probably to keep them from not getting rusty in the pack. But anytime that you get brand new parts, it don't matter who it's coming from, make sure you inspect your parts. People mess up, manufacturers messed up, delivery driver could have dropped it and hurt it. You want to look at everything. You want to look to make sure that the orifice hole is clear. You want to make sure that your roller's rolling. There's no slop back and forth this way. This way will be a little bit of slop, but not much. And this way, check your roller, make sure there's no nicks in it. Make sure everything looks good before you go putting it in your motor, because you put it in there and then the lifter fails and now your cam's shot and you're taking your motor back apart again. So what I'm going to show you here is you got to soak these in oil before you put them in there. You want all the oil to get in there, get all the air bubbles out of it. You want them full oil. So what I do is, you can use mineral spirits to soak them in, but kerosene, I got that laying around, you know, so I'm going to soak these in kerosene for 2 hours or something, or an hour, and get all this, you know, manufacturing lube off of it or whatever it is. I'm going to inspect each one before I put it in the container. Go around, make sure the oiling hole looks good, make sure the roller's good, there ain't no nicks on it, the inside, the spring and everything's in there for the plunger. Make sure there's, you know, anything can happen during shipping. I'm going to take every one of these out of the pack and I'm going to look at them before I throw them in my motor. We'll be back with some more. See all the bubbles coming out of the oiling holes? Let's see here. Yep, there went one. What that's doing is getting that kerosene in there, cleaning out whatever kind of manufacturing oil they had in there. And some of them, like as you can tell with that one there, look, a little bit of rust staining. Now we'll take a little small piece of Scotch-Brite pad and just clean that up. You don't want to get crazy on it, but I'll come back and show you some more videos on how we're going to do this. Alright, we're doing this tronion upgrade from BTR. You want to inspect your rockers. You want to make sure that there's no burrs inside of here where the needle bearings are going to get pressed in. You're going to be inspecting everything from here on out. You're going to get a pack of C-clips like this. They go on the outside. You're going to get a pack of washers also, retaining washers. You're going to get the shaft for the rocker right here. It gets clipped on to hold the needle bearing in. Like I said, you're going to inspect the inside. They supply you with the pressing washers. Now you want to get down right to where the needle bearing seats. Like right there. You can smash the rocker or bend it, so don't go crazy with it. Next, your shaft's going to go through. Presses that little cap out. Disregard that. Going to turn it upside down like this. Going to sit it back in here. Going to open up our shot press a little bit more. Now, I got 2 washers because I got multiple washers. They only sent 2 in the pack. But your cap here, the plastic cap's going to center you up right on the shaft. You'll see it starts pressing the cap out. This is about the same size as the cap. So it's got a flat edge and a beveled edge. I'll put the beveled edge down. And I'll start pressing this in. about to there, and then I stop, I back off, and I slide my other washer in. Just like that. Now I'm going to press it down all the way. And you want to go down until you don't see that needle bearing no more and it's pressed in. Don't break the rocker or bend it. That's good. Now we're going to back off. Now you get your retainer on the outside, like that. Now you get your clip. Which these clips can be tricky. I curse them sometimes. They go flying across the shop and all kinds of crap. Just want to get on there like that. And always keep a screwdriver handy. And you'll hear when it gets in the groove, hear it snap. Now you're going to flip it over and do the same thing on this side. Put the retainer on. And then a clip. Kind of open her up a little bit more. They're tricky. There it went. About stabbed myself in the finger, but it went on. Then you want to take it and spin it. Make sure it spins freely. It's not like galding up or getting stuck. And then you just got 16 of them to do. Just keep on pressing them. We'll be back. Alright, so I soaked them. I did the tronion kit and left them soak in the kerosene. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them out and just clean every one of them off. Just inspect them again, make sure they're good. Make sure the orifice is open. Just going to take them out and wipe any kind of assembly. Even though I'm going to put them in oil. Probably should be using a lint-free rag, but you know, it is what it is around here. Gets all that manufacturing oil or packaging oil or whatever they call that stuff. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Look, there's some stuff in the bottom of that container. We're going to zoom in and look at it. That's why I was saying about soaking them in some mineral spirits or some kerosene to clean them. Because they just got, you know, they're machined, they get manufactured, and stuff's in them. Look, we're going to look at this. I know a thing or two. I've been around the block a couple times. I know how these manufacturers are. And then, you know, when you're buying Go Fast parts, there's no warranty. I don't care what they say. These guys crying on the internet, blah blah blah, this warranty, that warranty, blah blah blah. If you're playing, you're paying. That's just the bottom line to it. That's how this game is played. There ain't no crying. I mean, guys are buying crate motors and they're blowing up and they're not warranted, even though they say they're warranted. I don't trust any warranty. That's why I'd rather just build it myself. Because then it's on me. Because it's going to be on you regardless if it is under warranty. Unless the shop puts it in and all that crap. Well, who's got the money for that? Because I sure as hell don't in this economy. I'm here for the guys that are doing it cheap. got a couple $100 and want some performance, or, you know, I'm all about the cheap. Not cheap parts, but just doing the stuff cheap. Not paying people to do it. Learning how to do it yourself. I've been like that all my life. That's how I became a carpenter. And I've been loving building motors ever since I was a teenager. Started out with 307s and small block Chevys, and I used to be one of them guys that was like, I hate Subaru, and I hate this, and I hate that. Well, after a while, it was just like, I just loved the motors. It didn't matter what it was. Could be a Isuzu. I could care less as long as it burns the tires. Now, we're going to look in there. Look at that. Look at that stuff down there in the bottom in the corner. And this was a totally clean container. That's why you just don't take stuff and just throw it right in your motor. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump this out, clean it out, and I'm going to put some oil in it. We'll get all that junk out of there. What you're going to do is you're going to sit your lifters back in there again. Look how nice and clean they are now. And you've seen all the junk that came out of them. Just lay them in there. You don't throw them in. Just lay them in. You don't have to do no certain order or nothing. Just get them in there. We want to get them soaked and all the oil soaked up inside and all the air bubbles out. Put them in the trays and drop them right in the motor. Now I got just oil laying around, but you can use whatever sauce you want to use. It don't matter. We just want to get them lubed. Make sure it's a good one. Sometimes I got old stuff laying around. What we're going to do is we're going to fill this up. Now you'll see air bubbles now again. And we'll use this stuff to fill the push rods too. I fill them up and drop them right in. Look at all them air bubbles coming out of there. That's soaking in all the orifices and getting them all nice and lubed up. And now I'm going to assemble the heads, and while they're soaking, I'm assembling the heads. We're getting farther in the game. We'll be back. All right, so here's the head that we already prepared and cleaned, and, you know, looks good. So what we're going to do is take it outside, air blow it off, blow all the orifices out, all the holes, everything, clean it, because this is going to be the last time that we mess with this head until it goes on. So the first thing I want to talk about is valve seals. There's all kinds of different valve seals out. These are from Michigan Motors. Shout out to them. I really like these guys. These valve seals sit right on top of these valve guides like this. So we're going to put them on. Your best friend's going to be a little oiling can like this. A little bit on that, a little bit on the guide. You don't want to score it up. Sit them on there. A little bit inside the guide. A little bit on the seal. Just going to go right down the line here. And you're going to get yourself a socket that fits right over top of it. And you're just going to tap it down straight. When you hear that dead, it's dead. Same. Done. Done. They make a fancy tool for this. I have it somewhere. Done. Alright, so now we're going to install the valves and springs. halfway, I probably took in 4 videos now. My spring compressor broke because it's just them cheap ones, you know, that everybody tells you to get. I got to get a real tool. But remember how we marked all our valves, that we knew what cylinder they go back in, what head they go back in. Gonna oil the top of your valve stem up. That's to prevent from scoring the guide and the valve seal itself. You're going to put a little bit of oil here where the spring seats to the valve seal. And then you want to take your spring out of your pack or box or whatever you got it in. You want to inspect it. Remember how I said we want to inspect stuff. Make sure it's good. Nothing's bent, nothing's messed up. Now your retainers. This is a spring compressor tool. You can get these anywhere. They work real good for taking the hit when it's on. You're doing a cam swap with your buddy over the weekend or whatever. Now, fun part, the keepers. See how real little they are? Just use a little bit of grease or Vaseline. Here we start with this crap again. I gotta get a new tool from doing all these cam swaps. It's just, it's totally wore out. Took right away. It's a struggle out here, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.